Donald Trump's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, recently went on Fox News to defend Donald Trump's decision to abandon our Kurdish allies in northern Syria. Now, before we go to the video, let me just explain why this is an issue. The Kurds in northern Syria were assisting us and helping us in defeating ISIS. And they had been keeping an eye on ISIS fighters who had been imprisoned, right? So these prisons have all these literally tens of thousands of ISIS fighters. The Kurds are guarding them for us. And then Donald Trump has a conversation with the leader of Turkey, Erdogan, and Erdogan wants US troops out of that region. And that paves the way for Turkish aggression toward the Kurds. So effectively, Donald Trump has abandoned our allies who have helped us fight extremism abroad. With that said, take a look at what his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, has to say about it.
President Trump's acquiescence to Turkey's move to send troops deep inside Syrian territory has in only 1 week's time turned into a bloody carnage, forced the abandonment of a successful 5-year-long American project to keep the peace on a volatile border, and given an unanticipated victory to 4 American adversaries: Russia, Iran, the Syrian government, and the Islamic State. Your response tonight?
Well, Shannon, I think we should start with the fact that if you ask the average American out there, I think they would have to Google who are the Kurds and why is America even over there fighting this war. If you saw him at the rally in Minneapolis the other night, you saw him tell a story about the hardest part of his job, and it's when our brave men and women are coming back home in caskets, and he has to be there to comfort their families. He never wants to see that happen, and it certainly should not be happening in a space where, quite frankly, we don't even belong as Americans. A lot of people don't even really understand why we were there.
So I didn't know who the Kurds were, and since I didn't know who the Kurds were, I'm just gonna assume that all other Americans are idiots and they have no idea what's going on abroad. That's what I think is going. First of all, what is she even talking about, right? She offered nothing in that answer. And to be fair, I can't even believe I'm saying this, to Fox, they've done, not all of them, but some of the on-air commentators have done a decent job in calling Trump out on how much of a disaster this has been. But no, there wasn't a war in northern Syria, right? Until now. The troops were there as a deterrent when it came to Turkey's aggression. So they weren't in harm's way. They were preventing an uptick in violence, right? And they were there to protect our Kurdish allies who helped us fight ISIS in Syria. Just want to give that context. Go ahead.
Listen, normally I would support basically any troop withdrawal anywhere in the world that the United States did. I would support troop withdrawal from Afghanistan, from Pakistan, from Iraq. I would oppose any intervention in Venezuela or North Korea or any of these other places. But this is kind of the one limited instance in which American troop presence abroad was a positive force, right? I mean, with all the millions of caveats that you have to do, when you're dealing with American empire, you're always dealing with pretty nasty business. But in this one specific instance, it was kind of a net positive. And this is the one that they focus on doing first, and it's just really depressing, and it fits a pattern. I mean, that's why he was able to do it, because it fits a pattern in ongoing sort of U.S. abandonment of the Kurds that has happened time and time and again, and frankly, this sort of strange capitulation to Turkish aggression, which is it just baffles the mind.
Lara Trump, these family members, Trumps, are they're gangsters at gaslighting. All they do is kind of try to muddy the waters, pretend they don't know what's going on, so you should know what's going on. It's too much, and then try to simplify it in a false way. But essentially, it's unfortunate what is going on right now in northern Syria, because it really just speaks to the fact that, unfortunately, America seems to be really selfish. They got what they wanted, and now they left. And that really feeds the narrative of who we are as a people. And as you see everything going down, it's so self-interested.
Yes, you're absolutely right. But it goes even further than that, right? Because America might have gotten what it wanted in defeating ISIS, but it's not as if things can't go or things can't devolve or fall apart. And that's what's happening right now. You have ISIS fighters who are being guarded by the Kurds escaping those prisons right now as we speak. Because now the priority for the Kurds, which is the most understandable thing, is to save their own lives as a result of this Turkish aggression. And so their priority isn't guarding the ISIS fighters anymore. Their priority is to save their own lives. And so, I mean, when you really think about it, America got what it wanted very temporarily until you had an idiot like Donald Trump make a decision based on one phone call he had with the leader of Turkey. And we don't know exactly how that phone call played out. We don't know if there was any type of quid pro quo going on.
I think the phone call was beautiful. It was a perfect phone call.
It was a beautiful phone call.
It was a perfect, beautiful phone call.
It was the best. It was strong, very strong phone call. Well, a strong phone call that has now led to a humanitarian crisis in that area, the death of civilians in that area, and also the escape of ISIS fighters in the area. So we all know how this is gonna play out. Don't allow members of Trump's administration to insult your intelligence on this.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.